What's up everyone, this is the start of my coaching series. We have a Dom Trooper player on Canyon base, and yeah, we're really excited to cover it and go right into it. For anyone else who wants your VOD looked at and coached, then you can send that over to dunmerecoaching@gmail.com. Tell me what your rank is, tell me why you want to be coached, and yeah, we'll go over it. Make sure it's a YouTube video too, so, you know, the 1D viruses, right? Alright, so going right into it. You know, pick our Dom Trooper character, blah, 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 all that stuff. So for Dom Trooper is going to be really, really focused on making sure that you're outputting large, solid chunks of damage in the enemy while you're looking to pack your teammate. That's the core fundamentals of it. You deal damage to your primary fire, you pack your enemy, or your teammates, sorry, and you absolutely frag out. So, something here, we got to really make sure you don't, as you can see, we have our accuracy symbol on, which is fine. I mean, I don't like it, but fine. When you jump like this, you're not able to be accurate at all anymore, so don't do that. Also in this situation, it'd be much better to shoot a regular rocket at this gym sniper player here and then finish it off with a laser, because the laser does go at any range, so yeah. Wouldn't be able to secure a kill. Looking to pack our teammate, that's solid. And running over here to capture the point is okay too. You just have to keep in mind it's a very aggressive play, and if you're going to be playing aggressive play, you have to be ready to back up too. I'd like to see you default to using your regular primary fire. Also, you don't really need to reload the situation. Something people do a lot is they end up reloading too frequently. Like, I'm guilty of it myself, but the more you reload, the more likely you are to not be able to, like, the more you have a situation of having your ammo not available, or your gun not ready to shoot when you need it. So take a look at this little fight here, because there's a little bit of weirdness going on here. So we're kind of just standing out in the open. You only want to stand in the open. You should always hug cover. I know against the Barbatos you can peek a little bit open, but yeah, going into here, not super ideal. And again, we're getting kind of caught out here. Like, yeah, you can dash behind him, look to take an off angle, but you got to be continuously using cover. Also, if you have 70 HP, don't go back into a fight versus anybody, really. You need to go get health pack, you need to go stabilize. Again, I think it's definitely better to start off with your rockets. Like, yes, the laser does output good damage, but if you're not, like, it's usually better to be able to finish off kills with, just because it does have better range. Are we swapping? No? Alright. So, Dom Trooper is going to get a lot more value playing on high grounds. If you are on the low ground using the character, you're going to have a very hard time actually hitting your shots. So, you do really want to be on the high ground. Grabbing that pack's pretty solid. Finish up the kill is pretty solid too. And this is pretty solid gameplay overall. Just make sure you're continuously packing somebody. You probably don't want to be dashing constantly all the time too. Dashing is useful, but it does leave you vulnerable. So yeah. Again, also, shooting at the ground is solid. Make sure to pick up that health pack. And you can walk up and tank a little bit. Like, basically what I've noticed so far from like your movement and stuff like that is that you're taking too aggressive of positioning, like in this sort of situation. Like, it's pretty fine to be aggressive overall, not the positioning so much, but like the way that you're dashing. Like right now you just dashed for no real reason. It's dangerous to do that in situations in which there's gonna be enemies sitting around potentially. Again, you're gonna do it like right here. If something pulls up on you there, you'll die. So try and not do that as much. Try and sprint more often in these sort of like situations, especially when there's not really something you like exactly have to be doing. Honestly, shooting at that guy with your rockets is just like impossible. That's why you don't really want to be trying to like shoot at something above you. Definitely use your ultimate here. Like now. Yesterday. If you would have ulted there, you would have killed the Dom Trooper, or sorry, the Sazabi, and then you would have given your team all 300 armor. Now you're ulting, but it's most definitely too late. I mean, like, yeah, you might be able to retake still, but it's definitely later than the ideal timing for sure. Also, when you're playing on offense, you really don't want to try and trade, or when you're playing on offense on point capture, you really don't want to trade your life. They respawn so much closer than you do. You're going to take like 15 seconds minimum to walk back. After you respawn, they're going to take like 3. So for you to like int for a kill here, like you're like, oh, I need to kill the guy, I need to kill the guy. You're going to end up trading your life for that. You didn't even get a kill, but even if you did, first off, the team would probably be able to res it. Second off, it's not worth it to trade. Even if you do a proper full trade, it's not worth it because they will get back so much faster than you. Like for example, so you just died. Let's see how long it takes to get back to the point. So 440 exactly is when you respawn. Okay, you're taking a little bit of a longer route. Try and path as directly as possible when you're coming back from spawn. Also, you should be sprinting again. The sprinting is very quick. 20 seconds. It took us 20 seconds to get back. Again, because the rockets are so much less consistent, you're gonna want to walk up here, launch a rocket at that gem sniper there, and then when he dashes away, you can finish him with a laser. Yes, the laser is powerful, but it's really good for finishing things off. So basically, as soon as an enemy's about 500, 400 HP, you can finish him off with it. It does 600 damage, but I also would argue that you really shouldn't have even given up this high ground. Why are you giving up the high ground once you have it? This high ground, you're very safe. They have to rotate all the way underneath you to come get you. You're able to sit up here, output damage. You have people pressuring the point. Like, yeah, you got a kill, but you could have gotten that anyway. There's no reason for you to be pushing this far. Again, you're just kind of running around wildly. Like, you need to be using cover. In any character, any player, everything, you should always be thinking about using cover. Like, there's just so many better places you could be in the situation instead of just running around. Like, you could be hiding on the left side here. You can hide behind one of these doors. You could be staying exactly where you are. Now you're out in the open again. Now you're using cover, which is good. But immediately, boom, we're not using cover anymore. Now we're kind of using it, but it's very sporadic. You just have to have an intention of like where you want to go and what's good space for you to have and stuff like that. I'm also being very nitpicky about this whole thing just because that's what you should do for coaching. It's how you get better. So you place your little mines. That's good. Again, definitely throw your rockets into a group. The laser damages one target. Maybe it can hit multiple. Probably not though. I don't think so. Also, we're backing way too far up. These mines are useless. You want to be poking from close range. You have a very powerful ultimate. So right here, you want to definitely look to your left and start fragging out a little bit. If you want to use your mines, you got to think about what you want to use them for. Whether you're using them to place it down onto a health pack to be cheeky and kill people when they try and get it, or whether you're using it to mark a flanker's path. This is useless. These enemies can just shoot these and walk through them. But at this point, we've turned it into only one fight. Like right now, there's only a chance for one single fight. Again, also, against the Sazabi, don't laser them. Shoot their feet. Shoot to the side of them, it'll damage them. I'm not sure where you're going. I think you're also not sure where you're going. Aim for the feet. You always want to aim for like the feet. Yes, it does do a little bit less damage, but it's much more consistent. Like right now, if you're aiming towards the feet here, you're gonna, if you miss and don't get it direct, you still hit the ground and you get a lot of damage still. You don't want to be walking out, standing in the open against a gym sniper. Dash. When you see this guy will kill you. Dash. Dash backwards. I also haven't seen you thinking enough about where you want to be doing what you want to be doing with your armor pack. This is a useless armor pack. Only use it like now. You could put it on him. You need to wait until they're actually gonna start taking damage. Because right now it's just ticking down. He's gonna walk in with like 100. So here you want to start backing up. You don't want to be dying. Controlling high grounds is your strategy. That's a good pack. Okay, so this guy is jumping. When you jump, you are now going to be higher away from that explosion. As you can see, you're not dealing very much damage to him. So wait, you know, you see him jumping right here. Okay, then you see him jumping again. Well, maybe he's going to jump again. Just slow it down a little bit. You don't always have to be firing at max fire rate. Firing at max fire rate but not hitting all your shots is not as good as firing at a slower fire rate but hitting all your shots. So just slow it down a little bit. Yep, finish that kill. Wait, need another shot. Shoot him. Again, you would be getting such more consistent frags if you just would shoot and then laser. Shoot the ground. Yeah, there you go. Shoot like right between his legs, basically. Right at his feet. So if you miss the feet, it still hits him. That way you're guaranteeing consistent damage. So you don't want to be playing on the low ground. You want to be securing the high ground. The area that you were like dealing with the gym sniper standing on top of you was basically where you want to be. On basically any character, I don't think there's a single character that wants something else. Every character wants high ground. Okay, that does nothing. You need to be more cognizant of what you're trying to do. You need to look at your teammates right now and go, which of my teammates gets actually consistent good value from my armor pack? The first answer is Sazabi and Zaku, mainly, are the ones that get value. The other ones can. Your Metis can get value if it's getting dove by a flanker. Your Pale Rider and your Eternate Gundam can get value if they're pushing aggressively ahead of your team. So, yes, but you need to pay attention to which ones are really going to be needing you to do something. So, because of that, you need to position properly. Like right there, you could have lasered him. That would have sped up your kill. But you're kind of playing like you're a fragger, which you are. You can. Every character can frag in this game, but your character was given the strength of... Don't stop fighting him. Stop fighting him. A little bit silly usage of this. Look, just stop fighting. Don't ult to take like an ad. Don't ult just because you want to keep going and you can't stop ever. Like, you need to get out. You're fine. You have 200 HP. You can escape. There's a health pack right behind you. This is just a little bit unlucky. That's fine. It'd be like a do. Pack your Sazabi. Good. But you want to be playing around your Sazabi, or not just your Sazabi. You want to be playing around the characters in your team that are going to need the packs. You don't want to just be like packing whatever just happens to be there. You want to be like paying attention to where they're standing and go whenever they're engaging. Pack them. So what this character is about is packing teammates. Because if you're not just going to pack teammates with it, then it's just a not as good damage dealer that happens to have a very good ultimate. And there's other characters like that. You know, Pale Rider, for example. Ashimar will deal more damage than this guy will. So, control these high grounds. As you can see, your team, whenever someone gets on top, you kind of have a little bit of a rough time. That's because your team is now standing in an angle. Every high ground is an angle because what you can do is you can back away from it. For example, right now, like in this area right here, if there's an enemy standing there, they can see you. But then when you back up a little bit, they can't see you now. And not because of this wall, but because of how the high ground works. High grounds are extremely, extremely powerful. Also with the fact that they let you have choices because you can back away from them. Or sorry, they let you can drop down. Those are decent mine spots. You just gotta be paying attention to with mines is like everything. You gotta be using everything with intention, basically. What I would go do with any character that you play is sit there and go, okay, what does this thing actually do for me? For example, like, what does this armor pack actually let me do? It lets me give 300 armor to a teammate. Okay, which teammates need that? And then you go, okay, well, like Sazabi, like things that are going to actually take damage, basically. Sazabi, flankers, anything that's playing really aggro, like trying to frontline essentially, like if your RE78 Gundam decides to frontline or something like that. Your positioning is strange too. You keep running away from high, like safer spaces. First off, don't ever dash into a Barbatos. You will die. If you see this guy and you like, you can walk up to here, even like sprint up to here, but you don't want to dash. You don't want to dash because now you don't have your cooldown. And if he walks up to you, he can kill you. But for positioning, like it feels like you're just kind of dashing places instead of like thinking about what you need to do and what's going to happen to you when you go there. This place right here, like right now, you're facing a decision. Back up, force the Barbatos to walk into a straight line that it has to walk into, and you can laser it and shoot it with missiles, or where you're safer, there's a wall on your right, or now you're exposing yourself to 3 people. You know? Like, yeah, you escape, but it's just a micro decision making like that. Over time, you'll get punished for things like that. So you have to be careful. Says high ground is really good. Again, shoot at the ground. It's like you'll hit, I don't know, a good portion fewer shots if you aim above. Like, because right now, if you shoot it, like you can't, with you playing a projectile character, you can't expect to hit every shot. They will for sure dodge you. Hit scans, if you're a perfect hit scan player, then yeah, you can hit everything. But not even like a projectile aimbot will hit every shot. Because things, it can't predict where people are going to move. Not always. So, here, you don't know this guy's going to all of a sudden just jump, right? You know he's going to do weird stuff. So when you see him right here, just shoot right here. Because if he moves to the left, he's still going to take damage. If he moves to the right, he's still going to take damage. And if you stay still, you're going to hit him in the bottom of his legs. And it doesn't do that much less damage than a regular primary fire. Ground. Ground. Remember about them jumping away from you. Because they can dodge a lot of damage if you're letting them jump above your shots. And since you're like, here's the thing, when you jump in a regular game, it's a big disadvantage because it makes your movement pattern really predictable. Like I'll show you with this guy. Because when he's in the air now, instead of being able to like strafe left and right, his pattern is very consistent. It's right. But against you, considering you're already firing when he's at like in the air at the ground, it doesn't matter. Now, he's still losing the ability to regen his dash bar, which is a big disadvantage for jumping in this game in particular. Like, it's just even extra bad. But, yeah. It's not, like, it doesn't affect as badly if you're holding on and just not, you know, trying to hit the ground. Taking the pack from him is smart. That was good. But again, positioning. Because basically what you end up doing a lot of times is like alright, this is fine. Well, should have shot him, right? Shoot. I mean, I'll let this one slide because he isn't an incline, so it's easier for you to laser him and make sure you get that damage. So shoot. He's being very, very predictable. I get it, but make sure you're shooting the ground still. Take the pack from him. That's really smart. But now you're doing this sort of thing where you basically like get in a situation in a fight and then you just kind of scurry around. Like your positioning is poor. You are standing in the open right now. You aren't like, you didn't try and dash. You didn't try and dash like up here to be safe around this corner, you know, and have to have them walk in front of a corner where you can just know they're coming and shoot. You walk up in the open, you're exposed, then you have to reload, right? Because you're not being conscientious enough about the fact that you don't have your ammo available. You definitely don't want to be walking on the open if you need to reload. Again, side note, is this guy going to take any damage from this? No. Need to hold that. Alright, we should have taken the health back from that time. But you basically just like end up like dashing onto things, shooting at them, and then when you realize you're low, you just try and dash away. And you'll get punished a lot for that. Careful while getting too close to Barbatoses. You don't really have to. So it's better to like not. If you think something's following you, you could toss some mines down. And don't jump yourself. Jumping is very, very bad in this game. It makes you harder to hit in almost all situations. Or it makes it easier to hit in almost all situations. And it makes so you can't regen your... Makes so you can't regen your dashes, and it also makes it so your aim is... Your, like, accuracy is just drastically decreased. So since you can cancel a shot into the laser, you could get a shot immediately into laser if that's really what you're trying to do. Alright, so let's look at the situation. G maneuver usage is very important. So, if you're paying attention to like who's alive on your team and who's alive on their team, it is a 6v4. Alright, you're a bit low, but it's still a 6v4. They're going to think just respawned. You lost someone, now it's a 5v4. While you have closer respawns. They just killed somebody. 2 people, actually. So now we're looking at a 5v3. You're now ulting a 5v3. Any kills you secure now don't matter.
30 seconds left in the mission.
They can respawn, the fight was already over. It's not until you get like close to 20 seconds in these situations is when like things you kill won't be able to get back in time. It'd be really nice for you to have an ult right now that you could go push and do that with, because you'd win the game for sure. You guarantee a game win.
10 seconds remaining. 5, 4. The enemy is passing. 2, 1.
Be careful chasing things.
Now enter.
So right in this situation, it's fine for you to try and contest and get this guy, but when you see him all the way over there, he's really far out of the fight. Where does the fight matter? The fight matters on point. It doesn't matter for you to get a kill out here. By chasing him down, you're taking yourself away from the fight. He can't be in the fight right now. Like, yes, he can go grab that health pack, but even then he's still out of the fight for like a good 10 seconds, right? But you chasing him isn't going to help that too much.
4. The enemy
It's only going to increase that to like, you know, an extra 15 seconds or so, but you risked your life, and so when you went and died. Versus like if the enemy team had more people, and like yes, in this situation doesn't matter, but it's important to look at it from a general perspective, because things you do in general will, things you like, habits you have will matter in other situations. If you're chasing out a kill over here, turning into a 5v5, when you could just walk back to point and make it a 6v5 because this guy's already out of the fight, you'll be trolling. And there's times where you lose games because of that.
1. Now it is ours.
So you didn't end up win. I mean, I'm not gonna, like I said, I was being pretty nitpicky. There's definitely things you need to improve, but there was some solid stuff too. Make sure you're focusing on being very decisive about what you're doing and where you're doing it. Use cover, shoot at the ground instead of in the air. Make sure you're using your rockets more than you're using the laser. The laser is to finish things or to do extra damage and like animation cancel, because you can fire the regular shot and then go immediately into laser. And make sure you're using your ultimate only when it's necessary, when you don't need to win the fight, or when you're trying to win a fight and it's actually like an even fight, not when you're up a bunch. So pay attention to how many people are live on your team and how many people are live on their team. Yeah. And for anyone else who wants to have their video coached, then make sure to go check that out too. Send me a VOD at dumbyourcoaching@gmail.com and include your rank, why you want to be coached, and anything else you think is necessary. YouTube video too, by the way, guys. If you're looking for some more Gundam Evolution videos, then make sure to check out my mobile suit guides. I made one for all original to 14 mobile suits, and I did a Should You Main guide series also, covering the same mobile suits and talking about whether you should actually main them in Gundam Evolution or not.